guys, it's Slay. I wanted to make this quick video for y'all really quick because I don't know, I feel like it was kind of relevant. It was something that was like, that has been on my mind about, talking about, and I feel like there are people that could probably relate. And if there are people who are having like similar thoughts, I just want you to know you're not tripping, you know what I mean? So I know that I'm a person that typically, if I'm going back and forth with myself about something, I tend to just think that I'm overthinking, because I'm definitely an overthinker. So a lot of the times I'll kind of just like blame it on that and shove off my thoughts. And I just wanted to make this video to let anybody know who is probably feeling this way that, you're not tripping. So, first of all, by the title, you can tell, we're going to be talking about me and my experience with working in nightlife and why I chose to get out of it after years of like enjoying it and having fun and stuff like that. So, what got me started working in nightlife, I was out of town one summer with a bunch of my friends. And a group of them already lived, I think I was in Philly. So I was with a group of friends that lived in Philly, and me and some Pittsburgh friends had went up there for the week or whatever. And there was an event, so my friend ended up asking me like if I wanted to bartend, because they needed another bartender, and I had never done it before, but I wanted to try it out. So I was like, sure, I'll do it. So I just jumped in there blind, no experience. But it was it was like a ghetto event anyway. So all they wanted was like shots and a couple of mixers. It was nothing difficult. I just had to like, serve beer, serve shots, and do little mixers or whatever. So I did that. I had a blast. Like, the out of town experience is always fun anyway. So being that I was able to do that, get a new experience, and make some money, I made really good money that night, y'all. And it's crazy because now that I think back on it, I was so inexperienced. I wasn't making no good drinks or nothing. I was literally just making shots, and I didn't have a proper like measuring technique. And like I said, again, I wasn't experienced, so I wasn't familiar with what a shot actually looked like. When I tell y'all, I was pouring people the biggest shots. Oh my gosh. I was pouring such big shots, and the people was loving that. So, they was tipping me real well, because they were happy that they were getting, more than what they were really paying for. And the owner probably wasn't that happy about that. But anyways, I didn't know what I was doing. So after that, I kind of fell in love with it. Like, it was so much fun, because I went to college and I did most of my like drinking and partying and all night and when I was in college. So by the time I came home, like, I was over that. I didn't really want to do too much drinking or going out, literally, unless I was going out of town or, entertaining friends or visiting friends and stuff like that. So when I got home, when I was done with school, I wasn't really doing too much partying or drinking. So bartending was like a really good excuse for me to be out and like be social without having to go out and spend money. And I was actually making money. So, it was a win-win situation. So I felt like it kind of expanded my social life. It gave me something to do on the weekends and made me extra money, which, was like the main attraction. So I didn't have a bad experience. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. It was fun. But after a while, I started noticing different like patterns and habits that I was picking up. And at first, it was nothing to me until I, came into a point in my life where I started reevaluating myself. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should chill off this for a minute. You know what I mean? So, the first time I tried to stop being a bartender, it was really because I was tired. Like, I was working on the weekends bartending, and I was also working during the weekday at a hair salon. So my hours were really running into each other, because at a hair salon, like, the weekends are the busiest time. So the shop would be really busy in the daytime, and I would go bartend at night, and then I would wake up in the morning and go back to the shop early, and I just wasn't really getting enough sleep. I was getting, I was like tired. I was just tired. I was just overwhelmed. I was still running businesses, and I started kind of giving my businesses a backseat because of the fact that I was just tired, and I got overwhelmed. So long story short, I started realizing too that I was drinking more, you know what I mean? Because I was going in from Friday night, coming into the shop on Saturday morning. hungover sometimes. And I was never hungover to where I was like throwing up or sick, but I would just be tired. Like I would just be more dragged, and I started having to drink more coffee. Just, you know what I mean, stuff that comes with drinking and being sleep deprived, like starting to gain weight. Like, it's just not really healthy. So I've always been somebody that's been really like just really into my health. Like, I really like health. Like, you know, I like natural health too. Like, I'm not really a person that takes medicine, so I try to eat as good as I can, because I'm not a consistent workout person either. Like, when I'm working out, I'll really be working out, but when I'm not, I'm really not. Like, so being that I'm not too active, and I'm also not one to really take medicine or want to, you know what I mean, run into any medical issues, I try to eat as well as I can, and, you know, stay educated on different natural products and stuff like that. So that's neither here nor there. That's for a whole nother video. But, you know, health concerns started coming into my attention when I was thinking like, dang, I'm doing a lot more drinking now that I'm out and working in the bar. And also, I didn't like the fact that I was more accessible. You know what I mean? I started to feel like, because of the fact that I don't go out much, like in my city, I'm still not one to really go out and be known. You know what I mean? Like, I could go out and I'm still kind of like the new girl. People be like, oh, who's that? Da, da, da. But when I started bartending, you know, that kind of changes, especially when you working in a place that you have regulars and stuff like that. Like, so I just kind of started feeling a little too accessible, and I don't really like that. Like, I really love being a private person. I love to come out and get love because people don't see me as much. Like, I just really like to stay low key, and it's very hard to do that when you're a bartender. So my low key stuff kind of just, you know what I mean, that started going out the window, and I just felt like I was being seen too much, and that was making me uncomfortable. Another thing, so that's basically two things. Like, one, my drinking had accelerated. Like, you know what I mean? I started drinking a lot more. Two, I started feeling a lot more accessible, and I don't like that. I really like to be low key. Another reason, three, I felt like I started getting a little more loose. And by loose, I don't mean like I wasn't like out being a whore or anything, like going too crazy. But because I was in a relationship too at the time. But I started dressing, like, you know, showing more skin, putting on a lot more makeup, like, you know, wearing different hairstyles and stuff. Like, I just kind of got more vain, if you will, you know what I mean? Like, I started being a lot more into my looks and trying to, like, you know, just put more effort into being cute than I ever really had done before. Like, like I told y'all, I'm pretty much a natural girl. Like, I wear weave and stuff like that. I'll keep my hair done. I wear nails and things like that. But I just felt like I started conforming to that culture, you know what I mean, like the go out culture. So like, I was, like I said, just showing more skin. I'm showing a little bit more boobs, just little stuff that I felt like was getting me more tips. You know what I mean? Wearing heavier makeup, like a lot more makeup and long lashes and stuff like that. Just, like I said, really conforming to that culture. And that's personally not me. Like, you know what I mean? I'm more of a plain Jane. I don't really, like, I like to dress, and I like to dress cute. I have a nice shape, like a nice body and stuff, so I like to dress according to my body frame and stuff like that as well. But never have I really been the type to dress like for attention, ever. Like, attention is something that I've always gotten, like, whether I want it or not. And I'm honestly not very attracted to attention, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm really low key. I really enjoy my privacy. So it's like, being that I'm shaped the way that I am, I've always gotten attention, and there's really nothing that I can do about that. But I never enjoyed that type of attention, you know what I mean? Like, I want people to be attracted to me for my personality, or even if you think I'm cute, like, you know, like, I want people to be attracted to my face, like, just my natural beauty. I've never really enjoyed the type of attention that, you know, just like promiscuous kind of attention. Like, I've never really been one for that. So I felt like I started getting more lenient when it came to that when I was a bartender, because when you dress a little more lenient like that, you make more tips. So I became a little bit more lenient on that, like showing more skin, like I said, showing more shape, just doing things that was kind of out of the ordinary for me. Even like doing stuff like photo shoots that were a little more on a provocative side and on a sexier side, showing a whole lot more skin, just stuff that would attract people to me as a bartender. And that's when I feel like, honestly, that was when I realized that it had gotten out of hand, because I'm like, all right, at this point I'm like branding this, and this was only supposed to be like a little side gig. Like, I never wanted to be branding myself as a bartender to where I'm doing photo shoots, and like I never wanted to be one of those girls. Like, and shout out to them girls, you know what I mean? Like, they're beautiful. There's some people who really make a career out of like nightlife and all that stuff, but it's not for me. Like, oh, excuse me, that doesn't mean that it's for me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not shading anybody who that is for, but it's just not for me. And once I started realizing, like, oh, okay, I'm like branding this now, you know what I mean? I'm taking pictures, showing a little booty, showing a little, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, I need to pump the brakes a little bit. So I chill. No, wait. No, actually, I ain't gonna lie, when I started doing that, I had moved to Philadelphia for a little bit. I was bartending in Pittsburgh, you know, and I was really liking it. Then when I moved to Philly for a little bit, I took my talents there. I was bartending there. And that's when I feel like that's when I really started like getting turned up with the whole situation, like the whole taking pictures for bar flyers and, you know what I mean, getting comfortable with showing the skin and all that stuff. Like, that's when it started really like turning up. And I'm like, I need to slow down, you know what I mean? Like, this is not how I'm trying to brand myself, because mind you, at the time, I'm still a bartender. I said I'm still a bartender, duh. I'm still a businesswoman. Like, you know, I'm still branding myself as a businesswoman. So I'm like, this just doesn't go hand in hand. If I'm taking pictures, poking my butt out, you know what I mean, wearing lingerie and little stuff like that, it doesn't match when I try to brand myself as a businesswoman. Because if I'm at a conference or something like that with a two-piece suit on and I'm doing a presentation, I'm talking to the people like, yeah, this, that about business, and then they look on my Instagram and I got bar flyers up on my Instagram and I got, you know, stuff showing my body on my, I'm like, it just didn't make sense. So again, I started, you know, overthinking about it, and I got overwhelmed, and I'm like, hold on, I have to slow down. So I like deleted my Instagram page for a little minute, and I just had to like relax. What are some other things that I noticed? After I took a backseat that one time, I was cool. Like, I felt like I had a lot more peace. I was getting a lot more sleep. I wasn't as accessible. There wasn't so many guys in my DM. You know what I mean? Like, my life kind of went back to normal when I took that little break. And I don't remember what brought me back. I don't remember what exactly brought me back, but I think the pandemic. So the pandemic had happened, and I'm like, I need some more money, you know what I mean? I need more money. So I knew that was something that I could go back to and do easily and get some more money. Child, that thing had dried up like I don't even know what to compare it to. I'm sitting here thinking like a pond in Arizona. Like, when I tell you nightlife in Pittsburgh had dried up for a minute when that pandemic happened, it was really competitive. Like, only a few bars were getting business. It was just no good. And that was kind of a confirmation for me, because anytime I move backwards, it never works out the same again. Like, when I do something and then I get over it and I move forward, and then I try to go back and repeat something that I've already done, that I've moved on from already, it never works out the same, like literally ever. So yeah, it was just like a total bust, you know what I mean? Like, and it wasn't really worth me going back. But I tried to wait it out. I felt like it was because of the pandemic is, you know, the reason why I wasn't really picking up. So I tried to be patient, and then it did start picking up. But even when it started picking up, I just wasn't here for it, you know what I mean? Like, I just really wasn't wanting to do it. I want to elaborate a little bit more too on how I was dressing and, like, you know, wearing heavier makeup, because I don't want it to seem like that's just it. With that came personality traits, you know what I'm saying? I feel like when I was like dressing a little more loose and wearing makeup and stuff like that, it came with like a certain type of vanity. You know what I mean? Like, the response that I was getting, guys were, oh, excuse me. The response that I was getting, guys were really like, you know what I mean? I felt like they were kind of in the palm of my hand, and it was making me, one, lose respect for men. Like, you know what I mean? I look, listen, child, that's a whole nother thing. Like, I could make a whole nother video about just, like, my journey on my respect for men. You know what I mean? I had a whole journey with that. But anywho, so working at a bar and just kind of having men in the palm of my hand, and, like, you know, being able, I kind of felt like, you know what I mean, they were so just easily manipulative. Like, I mean, I said easily manipulative. They were just easy to manipulate, and I felt like that just came with a certain kind of vanity and disrespect for men that I didn't really like where that was going for me. You know what I mean? It was just low-key, like, not changing my personality and my day-to-day life, but it was just changing a lot of my views and, like, the way that I would go about things. Like, I noticed that I was even comfortable dressing, you know, a little looser in my day-to-day life. So I just really had to get out of that. I had to get out of that. But anyway, so when it did start to pick back up, I still just wasn't really feeling it. So I stopped, and I was like, I'm gonna focus on, you know, being a businesswoman. So fast forward, child, I moved to Texas, and I was looking for a job. And, you know, I was in Houston specifically. Houston is such a big city that, like, you really got to get moving. You got to get moving fast, because Houston's going to move. And either you going to move, or you going to get left behind, or you going to get ran over. So you got to pick, you know, which one you're going to do. I went down there to pursue, you know, like, my media career and stuff like that. And I had an opportunity to work at a really nice studio and get some more, like, film experience, because I do pictures and stuff like that. So I wanted to get more film experience, and just all that. I wanted to make connections, but I needed to be making money. So here I am again. Went back to bartending, and it was so, like, dry. Like, there was some nice days. The place that I worked at, like, literally the first bar that I found. I just jumped in there. It was cool. It was a family owned bar. I liked the family, really nice. But it just wasn't enough money. Like, it wasn't the money that I was used to, and I was really surprised, because I'm like, bartending in Houston, like, I would think that I would be making double, triple what I was used to making in Pennsylvania, you know, in Pittsburgh and in Philly. But it was the total opposite. Like, I was making half of what I was making in PA. One, because the culture down there is so different. Like, all right, y'all, my bad. I'm gonna have to end up wrapping this video up, because storage ain't on my side right now. I need to clean my storage out. I literally just bought more storage, so I don't even know why it's doing this. But anyway, so yeah, I just feel like I was making myself too susceptible to too many outside energies. Like, when I was in Texas, I realized, like, the type of girl that you gotta be to be, like, a really successful bartender was, like, the type of girl that I'm absolutely not willing to conform to. You know what I mean? Like, I had old men trying to pimp me out, old men trying to offer to pay out my bills and stuff. And, like, it don't sound, having a sugar daddy sound real cute, don't it? Until you really, like, get the opportunity, and you're like, that's not what I meant when I meant a sugar daddy. Like, ew, no. So yeah, it was just, you know what I mean? I was just too susceptible to certain stuff that I wasn't comfortable with. Okay, you guys, so the video ended up tapping out before I was finished, but you get the gist of what I'm saying. Basically, just being a nightlife worker didn't go with the life that I'm trying to build for myself, so I had to pull away from that, and I definitely feel a lot better. I've been focused a lot more on God and building my career and doing better with my media stuff, so I feel like a lot more focused. I'm a lot more well rested and a lot more at peace. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, that's all. Okay, bye.